아! 세븐, 아무나이! 설치나 아니라 높나르서 하얀 하라세!
Oh boy, here we go again. So it's been a few months since I last talked about the THOK, and hoo boy, did it cause quite a stir amongst the SRB2 community. When I was making the original video, I was hoping that it would start discussions in the community and people could open their minds and think about the direction SRB2 was headed in. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. In fact, the opposite happened. The SRB2 community, in its infinite wisdom, decided to stop talking about the THOK altogether. In my futile attempt to have the SRB2 community actually discuss and debate their own future, I actually created a culture that wanted to do so even less than before. Now, I do admit that this is partially my fault, as I could have conveyed my points about the breakfast sandwich and the THOK way better than I actually did. Not all of my points made as much sense as I thought they did, and overall I think my script needed a few more minutes in the oven. So today I've decided to revisit the whole THOK debate thing and give it another shot. I'm going to try and convey a few of my original points more clearly, but mostly I'll bring in some new arguments that I didn't think of last time and some other things that have come up since I made the original video. So, here we go again. The Great THOK Debate, Round 2.
Another one.
Well, I guess I should start Round 2 off with the biggest thing that came from the original video. Did you know the breakfast sandwich won't actually be Sonic's new ability in SRB2 2.3? I know I didn't when I was making the THOK video. But that was because nobody knew that at the time except the developers. There was literally not a single whisper or a mention of the breakfast sandwich being scrapped before I published the THOK video. The only thing people knew about the THOK replacement at that point in time was the document explaining the breakfast sandwich, specifically the one I refuted in my video. So is this my fault? No, because there's simply no way I could have known or would have ever thought to ask anyone about it. What this shows me is a lack of communication between New Sonic Team Jr. and the SRB2 community, if anything. Additionally, something I totally failed to account for in the original video were the upcoming momentum changes. And granted, at the time I thought that was too much of a tangled mess to get into. This video is about the THOK, right? So why should I waste my time talking about momentum? Oh. I see. Well, I just look like a massive fucking idiot now, don't I? Yeah, turns out momentum's a pretty big factor when it comes to the THOK's lifespan. While in the original video I used footage from the Excel momentum build as at the time that was supposed to be a prototype for 2.3's physics, it turns out that the Excel momentum build has fallen out of favor with the community and something else has taken its place. This right here is basic momentum preservation, a less intrusive alternative to Excel momentum that really doesn't change too much about the game on a surface level, but what it does do is make it so you gain speed going down slopes. Like, you know, a Sonic game. But something I noticed when I actually tried out this momentum preservation build is that the THOK really didn't feel any different than it normally does. If anything, the game feels more like a Sonic game with or without it. So what's the big deal about momentum and the THOK being incompatible? It seems fine to me. There's nothing in this build that screws over the THOK so badly it just has to be removed. Hey, so as I was writing this video, I found out the basic momentum preservation build branch was closed 2 weeks ago. I'm not sure what the fuck this means for SRB2 2.3's physics, considering now I have no idea what they're going with at this point, so who fucking knows. Maybe I'll actually do an actual video on momentum in SRB2 like I promised in the original THOK video. Another thing I should address are my comparisons in the original video. Yes, I know my Kirby Air Ride comparison wasn't done as well as it should have, and I even kind of admitted the issue with it after I made the comparison. Does the THOK offer any of this? Well, not really. Past Sandwichface should have paid more attention when he wrote that script, methinks. Well, the point I was trying to make is that deceptively simple controls and abilities are more than they might seem. While the document argued that an overly simple ability insulted the player's intelligence, I tried to argue that that wasn't the case with Kirby Air Ride, a game that is literally designed around having the simplest controls possible, and also has tons of depth in its mechanics that make it a really engaging and fun game to play. I also tried to explain how classic Sonic's cannon double jump abilities are also incredibly simple on the surface, with hidden depth to them. The drop dash is extremely simple in its design and execution, yet I don't see anyone complaining about how it's too simple. Do you? Additionally, the original THOK video actually came out before something else this year, and that thing is Sonic Superstars. What's notable about Sonic Superstars is that there's a character in there with the double jump wall climb ability new Sonic Team Jr. wanted. But it's not Sonic who has the ability, it's Trip the Sungazer. You know, the new character, who isn't Sonic. And even better, Sonic still has the drop dash, which, in a really weird way, means I was kinda right when I argued that Sonic's gameplay isn't, and has never been about, verticality. It's kinda strange how things work out sometimes, you know? Now that I've tried to cover some of my old points better than I did last time, it's time for me to bring in some new arguments. There are things I noticed after I made the original video and have been wanting to address for a while. One of the biggest things I've seen surrounding the THOK debate in the past few months is that the community can't decide whether the THOK is either too hard and new players can't figure it out, or if it's too easy and has no depth to it whatsoever. Well, let's be real here. It obviously can't be both of these things at once. Is it too hard or too easy? It's hard to replace an entire character's ability in core gameplay if nobody can agree on what's wrong with it in the first place. But here's probably the worst argument I saw crop up after I released the THOK video. If you like the THOK but don't like the new ability, you can just mod it back in. See, here's the thing about that. Even if somebody did mod the THOK back into SRB2 2.3, it wouldn't be the same, because supposedly the THOK doesn't work with the new physics. And if the changes to 2.3's levels are done with the new physics and ability in mind, then the THOK just won't have the same appeal and utility it has in 2.2, or any prior version for that matter. And before you try to argue that you can just mod the old physics back, think about it. 2.3's levels are going to be made with momentum physics in mind, right? So what do you think is going to happen when no momentum physics clash with levels that require momentum physics? Why, an impossible campaign, of course. So if you can't have the old physics and the old ability in the new version, then there's only one option for people who prefer both, which is not playing the new version. At all. Yes, what I'm proposing next might be the most controversial part of this video, but I think I have a good point. Changing the THOK and the physics will divide the community. It's been made very clear to me, from reading comments on my video to seeing post after post in the SRB2 Discord, that a majority of the SRB2 player base prefers the THOK and doesn't want it to be changed. The problem is that the THOK has been around for so long at this point that most SRB2 players, myself included, consider the THOK to be part of the game's identity. To them, changing the THOK would be like making Mario purple or making Godzilla a giant radioactive iguana that runs fast. Wait, that one already happened and it went over about as well as you think it did. To me, the theoretical THOK replacement is like New Coke. Sure, you can tell your consumers, or players in this case, that it's new and improved and it's gonna knock the old one right out of the water, but that won't matter if nobody wanted an improvement to the old thing in the first place, and the old thing is considered part of somebody or something's identity. It doesn't matter how much better the new THOK or momentum physics are if most SRB2 players like the current physics and the THOK and don't want that to change at all. And if SRB2 decides to give them the finger and move on without them, then they'll just stay behind and keep the old SRB2. Because to them, that is SRB2. Not whatever this newfangled game is with momentum and no THOKs. And considering new Sonic Team Jr. has already seen at least one nasty community split with the whole SRB2 workshop fiasco, I wouldn't risk creating an even bigger and uglier one if I was in their shoes. An idea I've seen floating around a lot in the comments ever since I published the THOK video was, why don't they just have an option to choose what abilities you want for Sonic? And honestly, now that I've thought about it, I'd say this is the best solution to the problem. But unfortunately, new Sonic Team Jr. has spoken when it comes to options, and they've said no. For them, it's either one way or the other, and they've already chosen. Now, here's the thing. Right now, in the year of our Lord 2023, we live in the world of options in video games. Super Mario Bros. Wonder gives you a whole load of options ranging from controls to whether you want the talking flowers to speak or not. And the badge system in that game gives you a whole load of different ways to play the game, pretty much however you want. You can give Mario a grappling hook, the Super Mario Bros. 2 super jump, the wall jump, or you can even have Mario never stop running if you're really that kind of asshole. Sonic Frontiers even gives you the ability to adjust every single facet of how Sonic controls, basically meaning you can make Sonic play however you want. People want to have options in video games, and it's commonplace in most games these days to give people those options. Hell, even other Sonic fan games at this point give you options on Sonic's abilities. This isn't even a foreign concept to Sonic fan gaming. But point that out to new Sonic Team Jr. and nope, sorry, can't have that. Feature creep. Even though this game has been synonymous with feature creep for 25 years now and shows no signs of stopping anyway, considering the massive changes to everything, again, the physics changes would require. But sorry, adding basic options that are pretty much standard in most Sonic fan games and sometimes even expected for major AAA releases? Too much work. Please understand. So, yeah, that's really all I have to say on the subject for the second time around. Maybe I explained some things better than last time, but I really wanted to bring up this new stuff more than anything else. I'm already aware at this point that new Sonic Team Jr. won't listen to this, but I can at least talk to the community about it. But the point is, replacing the THOK is effectively killing a pretty big piece of SRB2 and its legacy. Many players consider the THOK to be part of the game's identity, and there's simply no way you can create a satisfactory replacement to something that stood the test of time for just over 25 years. It simply won't go over well with a pretty large number of people, and I personally believe it's a disaster waiting to happen. However, as long as new Sonic Team Jr. remains stubborn and out of touch with how games are designed in the 21st century, then the THOK's chances of survival are painfully slim. Will there be a future where the THOK remains and SRB2 stays SRB2? We can only hope so. Well, I guess that'll be it for this video. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon, and join the Trash Bin Central Discord linked in the description down below. See you next time, and long live the THOK, I guess. Yay?